Hey, what's up? My name is Birch. These are my sons, Jeremiah, Zion, and Levi. I wrote a book called Built to Last, a devotional for fatherhood. And this is 21 Questions with Dad. Let's go.
Yeah.
A few days before Father's Day, the family and I went out to the park and to the library, and we had one simple idea in mind. We wanted to capture a moment we'd be able to look back on years from now. They had a bunch of questions that were really interesting, and actually, they helped me come up with most of them. And let's just say they did not hold back.
How do you feel about the term dad bod?
Are you saying that I have a dad bod?
No.
I feel targeted. I feel attacked right now.
Who invented dad tax?
A very wise man in 1791 named Dadelson Tax Amani.
If our family was a basketball team, which position would everybody play?
I would play center. Big man in the middle, hold it down, defensive anchor. Levi's got to play power forward. I would probably say you'll be the wing. You'll play the wing.
Yeah.
Versatile, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting Zion at the 2. Mom's playing point guard, floor general.
Would you rather have unlimited pizza or unlimited tacos?
Oh, I think I would have unlimited pizza as long as I can make the pizza any toppings that I want.
Yeah, of course. Which one of your sons would survive the longest in a zombie apocalypse and why?
I think that Levi would survive the longest in a zombie apocalypse. His dreams are the most vivid and he fights the most monsters at nighttime. So probably he has more experience battling zombies than you and your brothers. Right? Right, Levi? Yeah.
What was your dream job as a kid?
I always thought, man, I want to be a pilot. I want to be an astronaut. But I didn't realize you have to have really good eyesight, and I have the worst eyesight of all time. My glasses, the lenses are this thick, so my vision is not fantastic. My vision of the future is amazing,
Yeah.
but the things that are right in front of me, not so much. They started off fun, but before long, the conversation turned into something a whole lot more meaningful.
Did you feel ready to be a dad? How did you prepare?
I don't know if I felt ready to be a dad, but I knew I was very excited when the time came. I was so excited to be a dad. I was very nervous. And when your big brother was about to be born, I was putting your mom and I through so many changes. We moved away from home. We went to I got a new job. We were in a climate that we'd never lived in before. We had to prepare for the snow. And I was so scared a lot of times. And I just remember the first day that we brought your big brother home and he slept in our apartment at the time. I knew that everything was gonna be okay. And so even though I was nervous, the way I prepared was just talking to a lot of friends who are already dads and praying all the time.
What was your first thought when you found out you were going to be a dad?
Oh, I'm excited. Nah, just kidding. No, the first thought that I had that came into my mind when I was gonna have a kid was, I don't think I'm ready. There's no way. I'm a kid. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have a kid. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and truthfully, in all reality, I mean, I was only, I was in my young 20s. And so I was very young and nervous, but the very next thought was, this is awesome. I love your mom. We're in it forever. We already had almost 2 years of marriage under our belt, so we were ready to, we kind of wanted to have a child, but we thought it was going to take a long time. So we were praying for a child, but didn't know it was going to happen so quickly. But it happened very quickly. So, and now look at you,
Look at me.
the firstborn, over all the Paul boys.
The favorite.
And also, what surprised you most about being a dad?
I think what surprised me most about being a dad was the amount of Cheez-Its and goldfish I would eat. I never thought I would eat so many Cheez-Its and goldfish. You know, because you kids have so many good snacks. I never realized that I would eat so many snacks and that I would like them so much as an adult. But when you become a dad, you definitely eat a lot of snacks. Also, I think what it surprised me most about being a dad was how emotional I really, really was. I always thought I was not a very emotional person, but after you have kids, you really do become emotional. Clearly, I was enjoying this process. The best part about this wasn't even answering the questions they gave me, it was hearing what was important to them, deeper than the would you rathers and who would survive a zombie apocalypse. I was starting to realize they're old enough now to really ask the questions that really matter. And this started to become less of an interview and more like a conversation that I would never forget.
What makes you feel most loved as a dad?
Hmm. I think when my kids tell me that they're proud of me. I know that's a weird thing to say. It's more like a thing that a kid would expect from their parent. But I think more dads, if they took time to admit it, they would feel really loved by knowing that the hard work that they put in, that the little things that you do, that the way that you apply yourself to taking care of the family, that you're not just thankful, but that, wow, I'm proud of you, Dad. You did a great job. That makes me feel loved.
What does being a good man mean to you?
I think it means taking care of the responsibilities that God has entrusted you with, like Jesus would take care of them.
Yeah.
You know, um, not everybody is a husband. Not everybody is a father. You know, not everybody has a is a homeowner. But there, but for the things that you are responsible for, taking care of them like Jesus would. And Jesus is a shepherd, and so being a good shepherd, being willing to take care of things, I think that's the best. That's what it means to be a good man.
What message would you like each of your sons to remember forever?
I think um, I say this a lot in sermons that I preach, in the podcast your mom and I used to do, and I think about it all the time. But I tell people this: it's never too late to be great. It's never too late. I think so many people think that, well, I've always wanted to have this dream, and I I'm too old to do it now. Or, when I was in high school, I thought I was going to be this, but I got to face facts and face reality. I can't do that anymore. Or, I always thought one day I would put music out or write a book or be a conference speaker or I would learn to get my pilot's license or all these other things that people have as dreams in their minds, and they have to live their regular life, and they think that those dreams should fade off into the background. It's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late. I'm 40 years old and I wrote my very first book. I'm 40 years old and I put out my very first solo single. It's never too late to be great. It's never too late to make the great choice to follow God. It doesn't matter what you went through. It's never too late to prioritize your spouse. It's never too late to get married. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's never too late to be great.
What's the most important lesson you want us to learn?
Hmm. The most important lesson I want you guys to learn as my boys is that who you choose to marry is probably next to following Jesus is the most important decision you'll ever make.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because who you marry, you'll end up having children with, and your children will be your legacy. And if you don't choose the right life partner, the woman that will be attached to your life for the rest of your life, God willing, that is it's a tough life. And God can do anything. And people can begin again, and people can have a second opportunity, and people have difficult stories. They lose a spouse or whatever, or all kinds of things. But I do think the woman that you choose to marry, the person you choose to have children with, that woman is that's the most important decision that you'll ever make. Probably even next to, to a close second of meeting Jesus. So I think that's an important lesson. Choose your wife, how you build your family really, really wisely. I wanted to end each conversation with them with one question. Not because I needed the answer, but because I wanted to hear their hearts. Fatherhood has taught me that the greatest memories aren't usually the big moments. They're ordinary afternoons like this, spent asking questions, listening well, laughing together, and reminding each other that we belong. I hope one day they watch this back and remember not just what we said, but how deeply they were loved. Got any more questions?
Nope.
That's all of them? That's great, man. Good job. Good job. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you were to encourage the dads out there that are watching this video, maybe it's a brand new dad. He just had a baby. He's coming home from the hospital with that little baby boy or baby girl. What advice would you give that dad?
Sometimes your kids may be annoying, but you just gotta get used to it. And
That's good.
make sure you keep on trying to make them happy and
Yep.
be there for them.
That's great. Good job, Levi. Well done. Good job, buddy. There's a lot of dads out there that sometimes feel like they're not doing a good job or that maybe they're having a hard time being a father. What's maybe one or two things that you would say to encourage those dads to keep going?
Mm. Sometimes, like, may feel like you're not doing enough, but just know that what enough is for you is what enough is for what you're doing.
Hmm. Don't compare yourself.
Yeah, don't compare yourself to other people.
Yeah. So that's good. That's great. Definitely don't compare yourself. That's great. That's a good. If you're going to compare yourself to anybody, the best person to compare yourself to is you yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're doing a little bit better than you're doing yesterday, you're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks, Zion. Appreciate that. If you were to encourage a dad that's watching this video, maybe it's a dad who feels like, man, I've blown it or I've missed the opportunities. My kids have gotten older and they're not little kids anymore. I can't just be in control of their life like I used to. They're teenagers. What would you encourage? How would you encourage that dad to keep being a present father in those kids' lives?
I think just being there is doing a lot more than you think.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
Like most of the kids that you see that are like causing trouble, acting up, they're all missing something in their life. Don't be like the reason that they are doing all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So being present. That's good. That's awesome, man. Good answer. Thank you, man. This is a great video. Good job.
Yes, sir. I brought one more question.
Okay.
When people talk about you after you're gone, how do you hope they'll describe you?
I hope that they'll describe me as a loving father, a faithful husband, a loyal follower of Christ, and a person that never stopped believing. Yeah.